They can do it, you can do it. Maybe it's a little bit harder for you, but you can do it. So, just that. If they can do it, you can do it. The back of the next page, humility. Get good mentors, hang with good people. If you're hanging with bad people, you're going to have trouble. If you hang with good people, good things are going to happen. The other part of that, seek first to understand. You know, I hear all the time in business, somebody will come to me, a client or somebody, and they'll say, hey, do you know what so-and-so did? You know what that Drennan guy just did? And I go talk to the Drennan guy and I get the rest of the story and it all makes sense. So my point to that is that every story sounds true until you hear the other side. So make sure you're talking to people, getting a full picture of what is going on. Number 4, taking the road less traveled. We already talked about that a little bit. But be honest, be trustworthy, and that is really the key. If you don't trust somebody, do you want to hang with them or be in business with them or do anything with them? No, right? You don't want to hang with them. You can't trust them. Can you have a relationship, friendship, marriage, or anything with somebody you don't trust? No. You can't have a relationship with somebody you don't trust. So what about us? We want to be trustworthy. Is that an attitude or knowledge? It's an attitude. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be trustworthy. I'm going to be worthy of trust. So these are the things when you're in college, getting your first jobs, doing those things. If you want to be successful in that organization, you better be trustworthy. And you do that by being honest right down below that. Make a good name for yourself. Have integrity. Be honest. Be all of those things. And you have some examples of this, which is kind of the thoughts of things. But take a look at a newspaper any given day. Okay, terrorist attack. Okay, think they thought about that ahead of time? Of course, they thought they were right. But how about this one here? Students gets probation for hammer assault. Do you think that was a good thought or a bad thought? Bad thought, right? Beating somebody up with a hammer, not a good idea. Because that thought became a thing. Okay, that didn't happen by accident. He thought about it ahead of time. Okay, not a good idea. All these people here are arrested for any number of different things. Thoughts are things. If you have a thought in your mind and in your gut, it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, anybody ever had that feeling like, oh man, I don't know if this is a good idea? I have. And as many times I've thought, oh, this is not a good idea, and I did it anyhow, and I got in trouble. You guys ever have that happen? Of course we have. We're human. Every one of you have had that happen. I know you have, because that's what happens. We're human beings, okay? My point is that in the future, when that happens, try not to do it. You know, think about it. Thoughts of things. Think it past. What's going to happen? Bring it down the road a little bit more. Okay, I am out of time. Somebody tell me one idea of what I just talked about. Now, you're going to go into business, you're going to go to colleges, and all of these things relate. You're probably sitting here saying, okay, it's a half hour down, we got an hour and a half to go. But I'm telling you, if you think about some of these things, it will help you. It will help you, it will help you. Give me one idea, one thought of what I just talked about that you think might be beneficial just for you. One thing. Somebody. Yes. Short-term pain, long-term gain is always a sacrifice to be made to get to where you want to go. Always. Short-term pain, long-term gain. Somebody else. Yes. Attitude is more important than knowledge. Absolutely, because you need the attitude to get the knowledge. If you're going to be successful, you're going to need both. You're going to have to get the knowledge to be successful. But all of these things, you look at the common denominators, attributes, characteristics, 8 out of 10 have to do with attitude. So thank you. We live between our ears, not out there. Yes? Okay, so if things aren't going well, self-evaluation, look in the mirror, probably has to do with me. What do I have to change about my attitude to make that happen? Yes? Thoughts are things. We just kind of proved it. You prove it over and over again. Thoughts are things. Anybody else? Yes? Humility. Absolutely. If you get somebody arrogant, cocky, and strutting around, you like them? Well, guess what? Other people don't either. Be humble. Realize it takes a lot of people, and you got a lot of people helping you here, including Mr. Venturella is another helping you do these things. So I thank you very much. I appreciate your attention. Thank you.
Wow, great job. Hopefully, I saw a lot of people taking notes. We'll do a reflection on Mr. Drennan's speech next session, but a lot of things to think about, a lot of truth in what Mr. Drennan said, and he's giving you a peek at life as it is out there. We've heard that many times. And with that said, we're going to give you another peek of what's going on out there. And we're going to ask a special young lady to come up and talk. She is a member of our camp alumni. As a matter of fact, we have a whole table of camp alumni here. Actually, Alec graduated from the first camp program, right, 2013. And we have a bunch of graduates here from 2014. So first of all, it's great to see you come back, number one. They kind of get a pass during school to skip the seminars. We understand how tough college can be, but these people choose to come because of what they learn. So take a look at that. That's really something to look forward to, look up to rather. So this young lady who attends the world champion Ohio State University, right? Go Bucks. She's studying to be a neuroscience physician. I can't even spell that. Is that, Rhonda, do you know, is that Al Baggett? Is that what Al Baggett does? Is he a neuroscience physician, Al Baggett? Do you know? Okay. Through the Camp Summer opportunity, Summer was able to secure a job with Freshmark, and she can give you a little heads up on that. But she's going to spend about 10 minutes, and she's going to tell you about college life, biggest wows, biggest surprises in college life, and then also some camp benefits and the values. Summer, it's yours.
I was not expecting a microphone. It's a little formal. So, who here is doing the website? So, take your. Can we change my picture because it looks so awful? The whole time I was sitting there looking at it. So, I guess what I want to talk about first is that Ohio State is a lot different than I thought it was going to be. And at the beginning, I had to go to like orientations, and they had all this first year student stuff, and I was just sitting there like rolling my eyes, and then all of a sudden this person came up and they were like, you're gonna see the block O all over campus, and you're gonna see it, you're gonna think Ohio State, because O, stands for Ohio. But actually, it stands for opportunity. And that really hit home with me, because being there, there's thousands of students there, and some people say you're just a number, and I guess that could be true, but if you make yourself not a number, you're not going to be one. So with camp, I guess I grew as a person, grew as a professional, and I learned how to delegate myself with people who were important, like all of these people here today. And I think that really helped me. I ended up getting a job inside of a research lab, and they pay me $12 an hour. And I also get 3 credit hours for that first semester, and I was actually able to get that position because of references that I obtained through Freshmark. So that was really nice. And then I also, on top of my full ride scholarship, I got granted $6,000 per year on top of that to conduct research. And that was because of references, again, that I obtained through camp. So Freshmark actually has brought me back. So for the past month, I've been working there. So I worked there in the summertime, and they were so pleased. They asked me to come back, and I've been working for a month, and then next summer I'll be back. And it's kind of like they don't even invite me back, they just expect me to be there. So that's a nice feeling. I like that Tom has set me up with that, and I'm able to know that I have a job in an office when I come back, and I don't have to work at Bob Evans or work at McDonald's or anything like that. So I guess I don't really have a whole lot prepared to talk about. I think I just want to focus on, does anyone have questions? Like, do any of the seniors have questions about, where am I going for college, or what am I going to do? Well, who's a senior here? Raise your hand. Okay, so there should be some questions, because I know you guys don't know everything. So, great, you don't know everything, I promise you. Go ahead. Yeah. So my major is neuroscience. I'm actually going into neuropathology. And my first semester, they had me take 2 neuroscience classes. And and I spent a lot of time in office hours. I would say I spent about 10 hours a week visiting with my professors and networking, and one of them recommended me for a job inside of a lab doing research, which is huge to get as a freshman. So that was one way. I also reached out to, they have like an involvement fair at the beginning, and they try to get you involved with all the different organizations on campus. And I'm actually president of one club and treasurer of another. So, I mean, just, I guess, setting yourself apart from others. And I guess on top of that, people look at my transcript and they're like, you have 65 credits? I'm so confused. Are you a freshman? And I say, yeah, I am a freshman. And they're so fascinated by the fact that I took so many classes in college, or in high school before college, that it has just given me such a leg up in so many things. It's just like a conversation starter almost, so. Yes.
Part of a learning community is not benefits of learning.
I was in a learning community. I'm no longer, just because of housing problems. But Ohio State does have a scholars program, and what you do is you apply to it based on your interest, and once accepted, you live inside of the community. And I liked it because even though I'm not in it anymore, I met a lot of friends the first couple days. I didn't have to worry about like, what am I gonna do now? I don't have any friends, I'm not cool. So it was nice for that to like meet people, but it was also nice that I met a lot of people who were doing things different than me. So I would say, yeah, if you can get into a learning community, you should. Yep.
Is Ohio State's size as bad as people make it seem? Like,
No, it's really not. Like, okay, so my neuroscience classes, there's like 40 people besides myself in the class. It's not bad at all. There are some classes that are large, but you have TAs to work with and things like that. I don't even feel like it's as large as people make it seem. And almost, I don't think I'd go anywhere else because I just don't feel like it would be as fun. Like, there's just always something to do. You're in a very urban environment. There's so many people to meet. There's so many opportunities to take advantage of. I don't know. I really like the environment there. So, anything else? I know there has to be, okay.
Work study program.
I am actually getting paid from the work study program that I'm in. That's part of the funding for my job in the lab. During my first semester, I worked at the Honors and Scholars Center, and they paid me $10 an hour, and that was just an extra plus. And honestly, they let you just do your homework. I mean, I answered the phone, I answered the phone like maybe once an hour or something, just do my homework the whole time. It's like getting paid to what I was going to do anyway. So, yeah.
do you find it hard working? Oh no, you just say do your homework while you work. So just answer it.
Do I find it hard to do my homework? You know what? You would think, coming from early college, I would go in there and know exactly what I'm doing. But although, like, I think Mr. Bruner and everyone in early college tried their best to prepare me for that, I don't think I was ready for how much I had to do. And the first couple weeks, it was really hard. I realized about halfway through the term how much time I was not spending on my studies that I should have been. So yeah, it's finding your own like niche, like the way you're gonna do things. I guess like I'd have like an hour and a half between my classes, and I'm just gonna sit around and text on my phone when I could be actually studying. So I definitely see that I've grown to like know when to study and when not to study. So, anything? Right now, well, last semester I took 17. This one I'm taking 18. So, yeah, I have no life. That's what I'm admitting.
How do you adjust from home to college?
You know, not a lot of people ask about that. That is probably the hardest thing that I've had to experience, going from living at home and having so many siblings and having my parents be there and support me. It's just really, really hard. And I found like FaceTiming helps, and like, although Columbus isn't that far, it's just kind of hard because I don't have my car down there and I can't just come back whenever I want. But I think that was, again, a learning process. Yeah, I don't know. It's just tough. It's different for everyone. I know people who go home every weekend, but I also know people who haven't been home once yet, so. It's definitely something you can get used to. Yeah. You know, when I was applying to schools, I always heard people, I stepped onto this campus and I knew I wanted to be here. And I was like, I just never understood what they were saying, because I'd been to Ohio State numerous times during the summertime and for different programs, and I just didn't feel at home. And then I went to other campuses and I realized how small they were and how limited, I guess, the resources were. And then I, just in comparison to Ohio State, I just did not see myself there. So I guess in making your decision of where you want to go, I'm not saying you have to go to Ohio State because everyone's different. Although I would like that. It's nice that you have the choices, but you have to think about, where am I going to, is this school good for what I'm going into? Is this school going to give me all the resources I want out of it? Is it going to be somewhere I can meet people that I like? Things like that. So I think Ohio State won me over with the neuroscience program, because they just built a whole new hospital for it, and they, opening up volunteering opportunities and things like that. So, any more questions? No? All right. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Summer. So I think it was the October or November session. I think we had Nazay and Justine talked about their experiences. Olivia, you're here. Maybe the next time we can ask you to come up and say a few words. Olivia is going to school locally, and she's also working a lot of hours at the Habitat for Humanity, which she loves, and they love her. So we'll try to provide you with all of these different experiences. We have a wonderful breakout session, well, actually 2 wonderful breakout sessions. One is the college readiness with Tony Lee. And whoever goes into the engineering session, by the way, we will repeat the college session again in February. As a matter of fact, we'll probably kick it up a couple of notches. For those of you that are sophomores trying to decide, do you want to look at the arts or the sciences? For those of you that are seniors trying to decide which schools I'm going to. Juniors, you're kind of committed, but you have a little bit of time before you make a decision on college. Mr. Bruner and I have decided this is a critical period in the year, the January, February, March period, to make sure you have all of the college information that you can get your hands on. So, thank you, Summer. Appreciate it. And congratulations, you're doing a terrific job. I mean, that's a lot of credit hours. And as you can see, working on breaks, already committed to working for the summer, working at the school. She has a full plate. So, Mr. Drennan, she's got her eye on the prize, right? That's easy. Yeah, okay. I got a kind of off-the-cuff question here, and I won't explain it to you now, but I will in the future. How many of you in the next 6 months will be looking to try to purchase some kind of transportation? Could you just raise your hand? High, please. I need your hand high. Yes. Or a bus, or 18-wheeler, or whatever you want, Kelsey. Okay. Mrs. Brunner, can you guys raise your hand again, please, real quick? We've got that's a little bit more than I thought, but if you can quickly, let's see, we got Jesse. Jack, you already have a car. Put your hand down. Who else do we have? JD, you got a car.
Probably just a new one.
Caleb, Matt Sigley. We got Nazay and Justine. Kayla, you got them all. Raise your hand high. Shante. Sade. You have?
Okay, who else? Lisa. I got
Amanda.
Okay.
I thought there was
I'm
somebody.
not going to explain that question. I told you it was off the cuff. We'll get back to you.
I think it was
I'm not going to do the reflection on the holiday program. We'll do that next time because we're kind of over here and we've got really one more important thing to do. So I'll get back to you. We're going to ask you about David Baker and the holiday celebration, what you liked and didn't like about it. And me not being able to hold it together is not one of the things you didn't like. You can't say that. I want to talk to you 2 seconds about communications. We're about to hand or go over the information on laptops. These are a blessing that we've received and a very expensive blessing. a very important blessing when you use them properly. But if you think about computers, what are they used mostly for? Is to get information and communicate. I have to tell you, for some time, and I've saved every month's responses. So I have each individual in this room. Some of you are new who joined the program in September, October, but I go back probably a year for every month. And I send out the same email the week before every session, which is, hi, it's Mr. Venturella. Here's our agenda. We have a meeting coming up in a week. Here's what we're going to be doing. Could you send me a response and tell me that you're committed to coming or why you can't make it? I consistently get between 30 and 45% of you that do not respond. Now I can wipe this clean, and I can do one of my favorite things, which is to talk to you about skills and competencies. And I can probably list 12 in about 60 seconds competencies that action of you not responding to my email and not doing it on a consistent basis, how it demonstrates some really poor development in certain skills. And this whole program is designed to sharpen your skills, your competencies, offer you internships, work on your career paths, now heavily involved in colleges and making sure that you're placed properly based on the career paths you want to go on. But I am not going to give out $1,000 laptops to you students, and you are not going to communicate with myself, Mr. Bruner, Mrs. Bruner, and the leaders on my operating committee. We have a meeting after this to take all of our leadership teams to the next level, whether it's engineering, healthcare, legal, IT, technical. And my operating committee is going to be communicating with you on these brand new laptops that we've been blessed to have. And you will not respond. It's not an option. That is the guidelines of the program. I had a boss, similar situation to this. It wasn't on communication, it was about making numbers. But he basically told a room of 1,000 that if you don't like these rules, and these were paid employees, obviously you're not paid employees, but you are members of camp, you are volunteer members of camp, but so are we. And he basically said, if you don't like it, do not let the door hit you in the behind. We will be interviewing, it'll be double digits, 10 to 12 new students coming up here in February for the program. We'll be doing it again in September. We have a lot of people that want in on this program. If you don't want it and you don't want the commitment, please do us a favor. You want to be treated like adults, we want to treat you like adults. I told you we believe in you, we love you, we trust you. Communicate. Show us that you're mature. Show us you're responsible. Show us you want it and you're committed to the program. Okay? Mrs. Bruner, let's end with a happier note, which is the information on the laptops. Ken, you want to say a few words?
I do want to say this, that I am thankful that this group has worked with us, and that's the camp group under CAST has been so supportive and helpful, and believe me, they want your best. And what I mean by that, they want you to be prepared so that you can go out there and have a leg up or above those people that you're going to be competing with in the business world. So the information that we're passing out, we're trying our best to put all the things in your hands to make you successful. If you go ahead and research some of the information about why do urban schools suffer or lag behind those suburban schools or those schools that do well, or even some of the private schools, one of the biggest things that I discovered that to talk about is the lack of technology and information and the communication skills that they suffer behind. They don't have these tools in their hands so that they have that leg up. So we decided that we want to put this in your hands to help. The thing is though, when this $1,000 thing hits your hands, please help us. And I'm going to tell you another thing. The district supports us in this. The reason why is because I think we're one of the few sort of in-house programs that the assistant superintendent told me in an email that you go ahead and tell us what you would need to put in place over there to help you out with having your own internet connection that you guys are going to take care of. And that's a first. I don't know many other programs within the system that are allowed to have that happen. So we're going to be communicating with the technology department so that over there in that building, you guys are going to have a corner called the Camp Corner. I don't know how long it takes for them to install it, so please be patient. But it'll be over in that area where Mrs. Brenner works, where you will have your own designated camp area. I think it fits as many as maybe 8 students in one of the rooms, and then the office Mrs. Brenner had, and then maybe have some spill-out area over there, right around the corner. The thing that we're asking you to do is to be responsible, and I know I get long-winded. Please communicate. Mrs. Brenner's going to try to set up a Remind 101. I think she already has one, that she's going to send an email to all of you so that she can remind you. Check your email, you just got a message. Mr. Venturella just told you, before any camp meeting, and you already know the camp meetings all the way out to the end of the school year, before any camp meeting a week before, he puts out the information as far as what the topics are, the agenda, and then your responsibility to respond to him. Now I'm going to tell you this, these are simple requests that we ask for. You are getting ready in a few years, 1 or 2 years, to be out in the business world, college level and beyond, competing against other like-minded folks that are going to want to be successful, have these attitudes in place. Your job is to develop these attitudes through habits, developing effective habits of getting this ingrained in you so that you can do well. Once you do this and you develop these habits, it will be easier for you to communicate, get back in touch with somebody, and I suffer behind that too. Get back in touch with somebody as soon as they send you information, respond to them. Show them that you're responsible, you're a young adult. Just put that into practice.
Just to expand on what Mr. Bruno was saying, that the area across the way in the satellite building will be called the Camp/Cast Student Center, okay? It's great. I mean, if you walk into a lot of colleges and you look at their student center, it kind of reminds me of that. I think Mr. Sipek was over there the other day. He said, this looks like college. I go, I thought so too. There's workstations. There'll be Wi-Fi set up in that room, in Mrs. Bruner's room. And again, that's dedicated Wi-Fi to our computers. And there'll be 1 or 2 printers over there for you to print out your work. So somebody like Jacob, who I see Jacob in here at 7 o'clock in the morning and I see him at 5 o'clock at night. Jacob, that's a great place for you to go. And we're always moving you around because they're pushing you out of one room into another room into another room. You can go over there, Jacob, and get your work done and have your laptop and everything. So I think it's going to be pretty sweet for you guys. Ms. Bruno, you want to go through a little bit of the paperwork?
Okay, everyone, what I passed out to you, the first thing is a letter. It's the one that's not stapled. It's a letter to your parents. They are to come to next month's meeting on February 22nd to the seminar, and they should be here at 3 o'clock. You would get here at 2 o'clock at your usual time, so